Currently, if you live in Australia or any other Western democracy, you'd likely be hearing proud right-wing commentators feeling emboldened by the Liberal government's most recent win in the federal election. Put aside the fact that the media is on the side of the government, I still hear this lie pervasive on online media and even mainstream media that the news is somewhat left-wing. In order for right-wingers to cling to immigration and values as key issues that they believe is threatening the very existence of an Australian way of life. Let me tell you, this is not true. The most recent election proved that Australians face greater concerns than brown people immigrating into our country. Immigration ranked number 6 in the top 10 issues facing the Australian voter from the Sydney Morning Herald, and here's why I think it should be even lower. Immigration in Australia is a non-issue for many middle-class people, or at least it should be, because as evidence shows, according to ABC statistics, since 1945 Australia and New Zealand, along with Canada and the USA, are the world's 4 major settler immigration nations. Now you might think this is a big issue. However, Australia ranks 11th behind New Zealand at 7th in per capita annual permanent immigrant intakes. Not only that, we recently doubled the refugee intake in 2017 under the Liberal government. Newsflash, the sky didn't fall in. Muslims comprise only 1% of New Zealand's population and 2% of Australia's population. Australia and New Zealand are hardly being overwhelmed by Muslim immigrants, so let's not let Sky News, Alan Jones and other commentators online fearmonger about what are the real issues in a Western democracy in the 21st century. Healthcare, something Australians should be proud to have in this country, should be thanking previous Labor governments for instituting it in the first place, and has been routinely effective in caring for Australians both old and new. And now Scott Morrison wants to cut $2.8 billion from the public hospitals, equivalent to cutting about 2,000 doctors and nurses a year for 6 years. But keep telling me that the left wing are just set on destroying the country with Muslim immigration, Pauline. Please explain. The cost of living in this country. God, no wonder everyone else wants to move to, say, Sweden, Germany, other European socialised countries, when our own Australian Bureau of Statistics says that an Australian resident moves overseas every minute and 51 seconds. Germany literally went through 2 world wars. Well, they kind of actually started them, and they had to pay back reparations. And look at them now. They have one of the strongest economies in Europe. Their environment is a greater threat to this country than anything mentioned already. Many of our beautiful animals are already on the endangered list. We are building new coal-fired plants in Australia and not investing in renewables, a future billion-dollar industry that we should be the ones leading the world in, which could create tens of thousands of jobs. This leads me to another issue, corruption in government. Want to know why we can't get a single commission together to investigate corruption, environmental issues, banking inquiries, anything that I've mentioned earlier? It's because the current government and media outlets owned by Murdoch are in the pockets of big businesses. So the next time your political friend or a political friend goes, yeah, but Labour and Liberal are just 2 sides of the same coin, tell them to shut up. Look at the wonderful social programs and future planning that the Labor and Greens have been working for that can lift Australia above and beyond, and also tell them to come like and subscribe. Peace.